Hello everybody, welcome back to another YouTube video. My name is Cameron Kent, and today we are going to be talking about a new superhero, and his name is Mage. Alright, Mage is a magic user, and a key to explore the supernatural side of this universe. Which, supernatural myths and things, anything supernatural, has always been a fascinating topic for a lot of people, and that'd be a fun way and thing to explore in this universe. Definitely with this character, so... Who is this character? Mage's real name is Andrew Myers, and he finds out that magic exists. Obviously, he would be skeptical about that magic. So think about the universe he's in real quick. All the videos I've talked about, superheroes. So think about this. Defender and Nomad, and plus there are other vigilantes. They do not have superpowers. They are basically in the city, on the streets, fighting crime. That's easily explainable. That's something that can happen in real life. And then, there's aliens from outer space. They are basically just us on a different planet. So, aliens exist in this universe. So the characters would be like, okay, they don't pertain to magic. So, boom, magic is disproven. Then there's a time traveler. Okay, they use technology from the future, which is far from being into our development now. So it's just technology, not magic. See? Okay. There is a demigod. Okay, those are his superpowers. That's something he's born with, pretty much. That couldn't be explained. It wasn't given to him by magic. So it happened to do with genetics and hereditary. I might have said that word wrong, but let's ignore that. So he's very skeptical about magic existing. So once he first finds out that magic is proven, he will sort of want to learn magic, because the motives for that, I'm gonna have to come up with the motives. I have not really thought much about his origins much, to be honest. I only thought about the character and the premise and the supernatural side of the characters. So, the character would go to a place to train called Stonehenge. Stonehenge is a real place on Earth. So, he would obviously... He'd be confused about Stonehenge. Why there, of all places? So, Stonehenge is actually a gateway to another realm that only magic users and people who know how to get through it can go. People without magic cannot go. So, it leads to a realm on Earth where he can learn his magic. It's a place where a lot of wizards go to get their magic and learn more about it and train. So I think that is a cool concept, like a realm on Earth where sorcerers can go to. So, in terms of the magic for the character, there is a lot of magic he can do in this universe. So, he has a lot of things. I'm going to try to be generic with what he can do. He can do a lot. Obviously, he can alter the laws of reality. He can conjure spirits and conjure weapons. So, the conjuring part I will explain in terms for the villain section. So, he can also use elements as weapons. Okay, hear me out real quick. Who does that sound like to you? Element, the guy I talked about yesterday. So, Element is a elemental person. He can control all the elements. Mage and wizards cannot control all the elements. They can only control fire, lightning, and ice. So, that's simple. Element can do that even better, but he can do that and he can do it better. So if they're that, I had to make sure that was the power that they can only be generic with, because if Mage had all the abilities that Element had in terms of elements, there'd be no point to having Element, because imagine having a person who can do what you do but better and having the magic as well. There'd be no point to having Element. So in terms of elements that the mages have, they do not have they don't have good elemental abilities like Element does. So, moving on, so they can also manipulate minds, mind control, inflicting feelings on characters. Like, if someone's having a panic attack, you can use a spell to calm them down. That's an example I can think of. So, they can also cure physical ailments, which is a useful ability to have in a team, like in a team. Like, it's quick recovery. Like, okay, so Mage could heal himself. He can heal others. He can put protection spells on people, on himself. Yeah, that's what he can do with like restoration abilities. So his last thing he can do is enchant weapons and clothes. So enchanting is like a thing that, and you can use magic on a weapon or an outfit to make it do something. So that's something that could be explored more of in the universe, like more for the character. Wow. So the magic is he has a wide variety of things he can do with magic. I was only touching the tip of the iceberg there. So next up, we're going to talk about the villains. Okay, if there was a movie about Mage, who would the villains be? Well, like I said earlier, I would talk about conjuring in a few minutes. So I did say that he could accidentally summon a demon, or another group of characters can summon a demon, and their group name is called the Court of Wizards, which is like a more cult-like group of wizards. They are like the traitors of the wizards, of like the whole wizards and everything. They can summon a demon to join them or something. I don't have many ideas for each of the characters. I only have one for one of the characters, which in my creative writing class last year, I wrote a character and involved this character. So there is a character named Owen who has sort of gone on to be a sculptor, like more of a selfish one. And one day, after he's done sculpting something, he goes to the grocery store, and on his way there, or after he's on his way back, I don't know yet. He comes across a blind beggar, and the blind beggar was like upset with something he said to him or ignored him. So you want to know what he does? He basically corrupts Owen's body, turning him into a living statue. Why would he turn him into a living statue? Because he is actually the son of Medusa, and he is a blind character. So Owen would go to be the living statue, which would turn him into a villain to take his revenge out on magic users. So he would go up against the blind beggar, so that's sort of how he makes himself known. And Mage would have to fight him. I think if the living statue was in his movie, he would probably go off as a side character, because the Court of Wizards is probably going to be the main focus of a villain in terms of villains for his movie. Unless I incorporate him in with the villains, which may not work, because he's sort of like revenge hungry for magic users. So yeah, so the group is the Court of Wizards. They are a cult-like group of characters. There's a lot more I could explore with them that I'm going to have to come up with eventually. I may talk about them in the future. So the villains are going to be like the Court of Wizards. So I'll come up with them if I ever come up with, when I come up with more of them, I may talk about them, because I may talk about the villains in this universe as well. Like, I won't talk about every single one of them. Like, I'll probably talk about like main villains that each character would go up against. So The next thing is the story. So I've been kind of going along and like kind of slightly sharing the story with about the character in a like if there was a movie about this character, he would start off skeptical. Like something happens to make him go to learn magic, goes to Stonehenge, the realm in past Stonehenge, learns about the Court of Wizards, tries to fight them. That's kind of the general premise I would have for a story. Like obviously, like I want a movie for him to happen. I would love to make a movie for him. So there'd obviously have to be more, or than like me just like basically summarizing and briefly about a plot. So there'd be more to do with that. So again, this character can explore a lot of the supernatural side of this universe, a lot of supernatural villains that he could go up against, which would be a fun thing to explore with this character. So here you are, Mage. If you guys like this character, definitely give this video a thumbs up, and I definitely encourage you guys to comment down below what you like about the character, what could use some improvement, because I want to hear your feedback about the character, because all characters could, like my character could be fleshed out more. A lot of characters that I've come up with could be fleshed out more, or your comments could help out with that. Because if I was just like being arrogant, just like giving off my ideas and saying that's all it's gonna be, that's how it's gonna be, that comes off as selfish and it may not work. Like I personally will be honest, I do love my ideas, but like having people will give me ideas will help out with the characters and make their characters so much more lovable. So please comment down below your any ideas and constructive criticism, feedback. So also, if you guys enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if I have earned your subscription today, hopefully I have, please subscribe. And I've been posting a lot more recently, so hit the bell icon to notify you every time I upload a new video, so you guys can see me, so you don't miss a video. So that's all, folks. Have a good day, guys.